Hi, this is Charlie, and we are on air with my Beatles collection. Today I'm going to show you something that's sort of a sister to a box set that I showed you the other day. I had a red box replica of an Airflight record case, CD size in this case, a replica, and it had all VeeJay albums and a couple of other early Capitol and early albums thrown in there. But it's in an earlier video if you want to check it out. Today, I'm going to show you a box that's VeeJay Singles. This is the side of the box. This is the other side of the box. These are one-off boxes that are made by a fan. And I'll take the top off and show you what shows on top there. And then on the back, it is the VeeJay Singles collection on compact disc. Every VeeJay Beatles single and EP, promotional and commercial, on CD. Of course, none of these were ever officially on CD. That fits on top of the box like this. And then on the back, there's a list of all those songs. As you can see, this is paper. And some of it lifts up, and every once in a while I have to tack it down. It's pretty fragile. I took all the CDs out, but there's a cardboard liner in there for the CDs. But, you know, if you're into the VeeJay Singles, this is kind of a cool thing. I'll show you the first one. They're not in any particular order. Maybe I should try to show them to you in the order that they're in the box. So let's do that. So we start with VeeJay 498, and this is infamously the one where Beatles has two T's. So this is Please Please Me and Ask Me Why. Now, this is not what it appears to be. First of all, I'll take the contents out, and I'll show you that this is just sort of a wraparound sleeve. Then inside, there's another wraparound sleeve, which is what you saw through the window. So you put that back inside the other sleeve. And lo and behold, it looks like a record in a sleeve. And then the actual CD, which has both songs on it, has a replica VeeJay label. And it lists Please Please Me, but actually has both songs. So Please Please Me and Ask Me Why. So that's kind of the construction of this thing. You know, it's designed to fool the eye, but at the same time, it looks very much like an original VeeJay sleeve with an original VeeJay 498, Please Please Me, two T's in Beatles, and so on. So that's a pretty cool thing. I didn't actually put it back in there right, so I'm gonna fix it so I don't put it away improperly. So that's the first one. And then the next one is the same single, only this replicates the promo version, the not for sale radio promo version. So it's constructed the same way, so I'm not gonna take it out, but it's the same thing. Actually, I will take it out just to show you the label on the CD. So again, this is trying to replicate the promo version. Next one is From Me to You. This is VeeJay 522. Of course, these are very early VeeJay singles before the group was well known. They did not do well initially. So From Me to You and Thank You Girl. And then we got the same thing in a promo version. From Me to You and Thank You Girl. Again, it's VeeJay 522. And then there was this that was a promotional thing that they put out to further hype the band. The record that started Beatlemania, Please Please Me and From Me to You. And then it says, England sensations just did the Jack Parr show on January 3rd. Coming up, Ed Sullivan, February 9th and February 16th. And featured in Time, Life, and Newsweek. This is the record that started it all. Okay, VeeJay 581. So that's the outer sleeve. And then this is the actual, this one is well done. VeeJay promo label on the CD. And there's also one of those sheets like you saw on the other one, where it wraps around CD. Of course, there's no peekaboo hole on this, so it's kind of irrelevant to have that in there. You can't see it. What you see is this. Then you got Please Please Me 581 again, only this would be the official single release with the picture sleeve. I have a picture sleeve video up here as well, and this is one of the picture sleeves that I have. So you'll see that if you watch the US picture sleeve video. And again, it has the wraparound on the inside. First of all, it has this replica of the VeeJay brackets label with the silver on black. And then it has the inside wraparound sheet that shows an actual picture of the label. So that's cool to have. Now we're getting into the stuff that I actually have the physical original singles for. I don't have those promos, and I don't have the VeeJay 498, which with the two Beatles, the two T's in Beatles. I wish I did, but I don't. As VeeJay started to run out their license and their ability to produce any new product, they tried to milk the product that they had. This was one way. They made a Christmas sleeve for Christmas 1964, and you got various records in that. Tolly was an associated label to VeeJay, and so one of the options was to have Twist and Shout backed with There's a Place. I have this sleeve and I have this record. I never associated one with the other, but they did here. So here's their replica Tolly label, which I have, but again, I never associated it with the with this particular sleeve. I think I got the sleeve just by itself. And here's the picture of the label. So that's again nice to have if you're into the Tolly stuff. And then there is the Souvenir of Their Visit to America EP right there on the wall. And this is the bootleg version of that on CD as found in this particular set. It is a cardboard cover like that one up, like the real one is. And when you open that up, then you have a picture of the label. And there's the disc. Came inside that. So you got the 4 songs on there that were on the EP. Of course, on the records, there were 2 sides. On the CDs, they can, there's only one side, and they can get all the songs on there easily, of course. And then there was a promo for that same thing. It says, an EP that is selling like a single at single record prices. Here is your special DJ promotion copy of EPI 903. And that's the promo for that. I'm not sure why they highlighted Ask Me Why as the title, but here's the what would have been side 1 of the EP. That's the label from side 1. You can see down the bottom it says side 1. And then the wraparound for that has that and that. So those go in there. I do have the EP. I do not have the original promo of that. That would be pretty hard to find, and that would be probably above my pay grade, so to speak. So we'll just leave that for now. And there's 2 more left. The next one is, sorry, I missed one. Before that, there was Do You Want to Know a Secret on its own picture sleeve, which I also have in my US picture sleeve collection. And if you go back and see that video, you'll see that picture sleeve. Here's the replica label for that one. Here's one of the label variations. As you may know, VeeJay had a bunch of label variations. They had silver on black. They had the brackets around the VeeJay. They had VeeJay in an oval. They had several different label variations. So, and last but not least, sorry, there's actually a promo here for that too. Like the other promos, the blue on white label with the VeeJay brackets. And again, they replicated that label very nicely. So that would have been side 1 of VeeJay 587. Do You Want to Know a Secret? And then there was a Love Me Do. This is also, the original is also in my picture sleeve collection and in my video of the same subject. This is one of the Tolly labels. So Love Me Do was on Tolly, but again, affiliated and owned by VeeJay. That was the picture sleeve version, and this is the promo version of Love Me Do. And P.S. I love you. Now, my Canadian friends might know that in Canada, these records were released on Capitol. Capitol did not choose to release any of these originally, and they passed on them, and they were wound up in VeeJay's hands. VeeJay was a struggling company that was literally struggling to survive financially. They got, basically got their hands on what you saw as the Introducing the Beatles album with that cover on it, and all the songs on there, and they tried to release them in every possible form that they could to get airplay, to get fame for the label, to get money for the label. When they lost the rights, initially they lost the rights to Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, and that sort of ended version 1 of Introducing the Beatles, and then we got version 2. So anyway, that's the singles associated with the VeeJay ownership of the copyrights, broadcast reproduction rights from back then, late 60, or all of 63 and early 64. And then by October 64, they lost all rights to any of the songs. Many of them turned up on Capitol on an album called The Early Beatles. That was in 1965. That was included in the 1964 box set that just came out last Christmas, the Early Beatles compilation. And it pretty much was the stuff they didn't originally have the rights to sell outside of Canada. So anyway, that's that. I have some more boxes coming up soon. I have I'll give you just a quick taste. I have another box set similar to that one with Butcher stuff on it, several different cover variations for the Butcher album. I have another box that looks like those, and this is the Canadian singles, pretty much the ones I just showed you with a few exceptions. I'll show you a quick one. Love Me Do on Capitol from Canada. I happen to have those original 45s from Canada, but they're on CD here, of course, in this box. So those will be coming up soon, and hopefully you'll stick around and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get to see some of those future videos. For now, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or know anything more, if you think I left something out or anything else you want, any questions you want to ask, please drop those in the comments. And like I said, if you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button as well. And come back and see us. So look forward to seeing you soon.